People don't realize that you could literally take one thing from a person that is linked to their identity, and it could just affect everything else in their life. It could happen to anybody. I grew up in Rhode Island. My mom was a single mom. We moved around a lot. My mom had a lot of problems dealing with her own mental illness and drug problems. I did have a father. They weren't together my entire childhood, but he was present, and he was wonderful. I remember thinking of my father almost like Superman. I really loved Disney movies, and I really wanted Peter Pan. I remember him picking me up one weekend, and we got out of his car and we went into his house, and right there on the kitchen table was the Peter Pan movie. And I was just like, how did he know? I was just telling him about it, and it's already here. And it just made me feel like I was so important to him. My father died when I was 6 of lung cancer. So when he was gone, I just felt very alone. It destroyed me. As a kid who lost a parent, I didn't really feel like I got any support or closure. My mother tried so hard, but because of her illnesses, she had a hard time being present, and I felt like when he left, I didn't really have anybody. As I got older, I really, really craved to hold on to relationships. I met my ex-husband when I was 19, and I didn't exactly have my life together at that point. And things were good for a couple years. I went to school, eventually got my LPN, started working. That's where things kind of turned. He started calling me names and accusing me of things that I wasn't doing. And the kids and work, it makes things go by fast, and you don't realize how bad things are until one day you wake up and you realize you live in World War III. And you never leave the first time. It takes so many attempts before you finally get out. And then it was 7 for me. On the 6th attempt, I actually got hit in the head with a vodka bottle. And it took me 2 years to recover from that completely. There were so many times I look back and I feel like I don't know how I'm literally alive. I thought I was doing the best thing for my kids. I know what growing up without a father did to me, I didn't want them to feel that lost. But I think that they felt other things in place of it. And maybe that's the reason I could look at my mom and forgive her, because sometimes you think you're making the right choice and you're not. You have been taught to fear everything, that you're like, what if I leave? And that's even scarier. It literally took that switch going off to, I don't care how bad it is. I don't care what happens after this. Because if I stay, it's probably going to be a lot worse. I didn't even try to kick him out. I just grabbed all my stuff for the kids and I just left. There were days where I didn't know, even if I tried, if we would make it. But I had to keep telling them that we would. And it wasn't a lie. It was just a wish. And then COVID hit. At that point, I'd really lost my entire identity. I wasn't a wife. I wasn't a nurse. And I was living out of my car at the time. So I lost everything. I didn't know who I was anymore. I was afraid of disappointing my kids. I didn't want to have them feel like they weren't stable, they weren't secure. Like I couldn't do anything to help them. I eventually called for help. I kept putting it off, thinking I could just help myself, but it was a situation I need a lot more help with. We ended up at Crossroads Family Shelter. And I finally felt like we're where we need to be. They were going to help us. I've never met so many angels in one place. And I thank God every day for all the help and all the kindness and all the love and compassion that we've been shown. Because it just takes a hand. One hand up. You just need somebody to say, we recognize what you're going through and we're going to do what we can so that you can help yourself. That made all the difference in the world. Finally, you just get a chance. Just a chance. Miss Connie's been an angel. When we were actually at the shelter, Manny, Shantae, and Miss Yolanda, people with big hearts. The day we finally saw the apartment, that's when I was like, I know exactly how I'm gonna decorate it. I just couldn't wait to make it a home. Like the best Christmas present ever. A new apartment, a new start, new stuff. It's a new feeling. You just feel like, oh, this is the beginning of everything else. It's made such a difference. I mean, my son can, sleep in his own room, and we have a dinner table. We can sit down and eat dinner as a family. And we have a living room where we can watch movies together and play games or whatever we want to do. But it's nice for me to come home from work and be able to take a bath. I think that's one of the most underrated things people just don't understand. Like, the things you take for granted, And my oldest daughter didn't go through this whole process with us. So now that we have this place, she comes over all the time too. And my sister. So I feel like I have a little nest where everybody can kind of flock to and be a part of my family.
It feels real?
It does. It feels real. It feels real. And it feels good. And it feels real good.
You know what? Stop it. I've cried enough today. Me too. She's a good person and she deserves the... You deserve the best.
Thank you.